You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast. Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. My name is Damien and I am one half of the Learn English Through Football podcast team, and I'm based in London where the weather is still very hot indeed. Now, I wonder how Damon, the other member of the Learn English Through Football team, is doing in Tokyo, Japan. How are you doing, Damon?
Hi, Damien. Well, I'm actually out of Tokyo for the weekend. Apologies if the audio quality is not great, but Japan is baking in the sun like in London. We're also waiting for a typhoon to arrive next week, so it's hot and humid. Now, Damien, tell us about last weekend. We looked at Tottenham versus Everton in our predictions. What did you think of the result?
I was so relieved that Tottenham managed to survive on the final day thanks to a 1-0 win over Everton. It was a very nervy end to the season, and the fans, players, the manager and club staff have all promised that it won't happen again next season. Fingers crossed. How about you, Damon? How do you feel about your team, Liverpool? What do you think of their overall season?
Well, fifth is not where I expected Liverpool to finish, but a raft of injuries to key players, a bit like Tottenham actually, is some excuse for the poor performances. It's been a long time since I started watching a game expecting Liverpool not to win. Not a good feeling. I'm a bit worried about the work that needs to be done on the team for next season, but at least we sneaked into the Champions League. A 6 out of 10 season.
G'day, my name is Erin. I'm from Brisbane and I'm a West Ham supporter, and you're listening to languagecaster.com.
Yes, you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast, and that was from a West Ham fan. I hope they are feeling a bit better after their relegation to the Championship last week.
皆さんは languagecaster.com を聞いています。
Thank you for that message, which was in Japanese, and we'll have several more messages in different languages coming up throughout the show. See if you can identify as many of these languages as you can. We'll have the answers at the end of the show, and talking about the show, Damien, what do we have on this week's podcast?
Right, it's the Champions League final this weekend, so we are going to look at some language from this final, including the phrases clash of styles and back-to-back titles. We will, of course, also try and predict the score from the big game in our prediction section.
أنتم تستمعون إلى Learn English Through Football podcast.
Now, if you want to get in contact with us with a football language question, or you have a comment on our show, you can do this by coming along to our forum or by writing to us at contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com. While you're visiting our site, you can check out our glossary of football terms, expressions, phrases, and cliches about the beautiful game of football.
당신은 랭귀지 캐스터를 듣고 있습니까?
Okay, let's start our look at the 2026 Champions League final with the phrase, a clash of styles. When we use this phrase, we are saying that the two teams in a match play football in very different ways. We focus on these styles as we predict which team will come out on top, will win the clash. In this year's final, PSG and Arsenal provide a great example of a clash of styles. PSG are known for their attacking speed and quality, quick combinations and ability to dominate possession. Their team is packed with attacking threat. There's Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Barcola and Doué, players who know where the goal is. If you say a player knows where the goal is, you are saying they are a good finisher, a clinical striker. In contrast, Arsenal may focus more on structured build-up play, tactical discipline, and organised pressing to control the game. They'll hope to nick a goal through a set play, such as a corner or a free kick around the box. They will rely more on defenders, Gabriel and Saliba in particular, to get their goals at these set pieces. Arsenal are extremely strong at clever movement, blocking, and using physicality in the box to create chances. This contrast, attacking flair and defensive solidity, makes the match especially interesting. It will be a tactical battle as well as a physical one. PSG will hope their attacking flair breaks through Arsenal's organisation, while Arsenal will believe their structure will be able to limit PSG's chances. When people talk about a clash of styles, they want to highlight this kind of contrast between two teams with different football philosophies. Think about the league your team plays in. Are there any clashes of style?
Vous écoutez languagecaster.com.
So, PSG won the Champions League title last year. Remember, they demolished Inter 5-0 in the final to win their first ever Champions League title. This year, they are back in the final and trying to retain the title. This phrase, to retain the title, in this context means to win the title again the year afterwards. To retain a title is often really difficult, and only a handful of teams have retained their European Cup or Champions League title. In fact, the last time a team retained the Champions League title was Real Madrid, who won 3 titles in a row from 2016 to 2018. A similar phrase to this is back-to-back titles, which means that a team has won 2 titles in a row. So if PSG win this season, then we can say that they have won back-to-back titles. They will have back-to-back wins in the competition.
State ascoltando languagecaster.com.
Okay, what language do you think that was? It would be great if you could send us a message like that saying you are listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast in your language or any language that you know. Just send it on to contact@learnenglishthroughfootball.com.
Okay, it's time for our predictions, and there's only one game to look at the end of the European season, and that is, of course, the 2026 Champions League final, which is a real clash of styles. Played at the Puskás Arena in Budapest, Hungary, PSG versus Arsenal should be a really interesting game. Damien, what do you think?
Right, as a Spurs fan, I am not too happy that Arsenal have a chance of winning their first ever Champions League title, but I have to admit that they have a really good chance of doing so. Of course, PSG are the holders, but Arsenal have just won the Premier League. I think this will be a tight game, maybe 1-1 and then extra time and penalties. Hopefully, the French side come out on top.
Interesting. Well, PSG are also, of course, champions of Ligue 1, so both teams will be confident. PSG will be the most rested, but whether that's a big factor, I'm not sure. I would like attacking flair to come out on top, so my footballing heart says a 2-0 win for PSG, but my football brain agrees with you and thinks this will be a tight game. I think it will be decided in the 90 minutes by 1 goal. I'll go 1-0 to PSG with a second half goal and PSG breaking up field after an Arsenal corner. Back-to-back Champions League titles for PSG. What do you think of those predictions? Which style and which team do you think will prevail?
languagecaster.com.
Thank you for that final message, which was in Bemba from a football fan in Zambia. And we started the show with Japanese and then heard Arabic, Korean, Italian, and French. So well done if you managed to get any of those correct. And as we said before, we'd love to hear from you. if you'd like to record a message in any language that you know.
You're listening to the Learn English Through Football podcast.
Thank you everyone again for listening. This week we have looked at a couple of phrases that are linked to this year's Champions League final between PSG and Arsenal. First up, we looked at the phrase clash of styles. And then we explained the phrases retain the trophy and back-to-back wins. Let us know if you hear these or any other similar phrases in English or in any other language. Drop us a line here at Learn English Through Football. And also make sure that you give us a like on your favorite podcast or social media platform. Tell your friends about us. We'd love it. Enjoy all the football this week. Of course, we're getting closer to the World Cup as well. See you early next week when we'll have another football expression. Until then, bye-bye.
Ta-ra.